Florida teen faces 16 years in jail after being charged as an adult for hacking homecoming queen contest with her assistant principal mom and casting hundreds of fake votes to win. 16 years just to become the homecoming queen. Let's chill. There's got to be more to it. There's got to be some bigger picture stuff to this. Emily Rose Grover was 17 when she was arrested in March, but has since turned 18 and has now been charged with felony hacking and fraud. There you go. See, it's not about the contest itself. It's about the hacking and fraud. Let's see this young lady. She's underage, so we don't care what she looks like. But let's see if she did have the goods or if she needed to cheat. Because, looks are what they are. She and her assistant principal mother, Laura Rose Carroll, are accused of hacking other students' school accounts to send fake votes for her to win. I wonder, this sounds familiar. Hacking going on, voting systems, fake votes to help win an election. Interesting they were able to discover this hacking, cheating to win an election. 16 years in jail potentially. It's a pretty stiff penalty. Good thing we don't have any election hacking going on at higher levels of our government, because imagine what the penalties would be for those. They face being jailed until 2037 if convicted. Can you imagine if they both were convicted and were sent to the same woman's prison? They had to tell that story on the yard. Carroll, 50, is an assistant principal at an elementary school in the same district as Tate High School, which Grover attended, and could access its systems. Investigators found 117 votes emanating from the same IP address and 246 votes cast for homecoming court from Carroll's personal devices in Pensacola. Students have said Grover has spoken for years about using her mother's system to access student records. A brilliant one. We got a talker here. There she is there. Oh, this is her mugshot, I think. This is the mugshot, right? It says Escambia County Jail. Look at her. She's so happy. This has got to go. We've been getting some good mugshots lately. Like the story I did about a week ago about the Las Vegas reporter who was found by police drunk and naked, passed out behind the wheel of a car. Car wasn't moving, of course, but she had a nice looking mugshot. This one, the girl's just like, hey, look at me. I'm a cute high school girl. Am I really under arrest? Check this out, though, what they say here. This is not unusual with young people of that age. Assistant State Attorney John Molcahn told the Pensacola News Journal, juvenile court cannot do anything or supervise them after they become 18, and it just makes better sense to move them into adult court where they can be supervised effectively. Interesting veil slippage there, sort of strategy. She was 17 at the time. Well, what if we just wait until she's 18? Then we can obliterate her with adult charges. I'm not saying that's the case or that anybody's doing that, but it seems kind of like a system that can be taken advantage of. Although Grover has been charged as an adult, she still could be handed a more lenient juvenile sentence if convicted. Okay, so the possibility is there, but should it even be a situation where she's even tried as an adult because she was a juvenile? Seems like something that the attorney would be able to pounce all over. Her defense attorney, that is, of course. Here she is here, and there's her mother. Yeah, probably had to cheat the system to win, just saying. Grover and Carroll face multiple felony charges, such as offenses against users of computers, computer systems, computer networks, and electronic devices, unlawful use of a two-way communication device, criminal use of personally identifiable information, and conspiracy to commit those offenses. Carroll denied the allegations at a hearing in April, with her daughter due to be arraigned on the same charges on May 14th. According to Florida officials, Carroll was an assistant principal. We heard that already. She and Grover are said to have used the school district's internal system to cast fraudulent votes for Grover, so she would win the homecoming queen title at Tate High School. An investigation began in November. Escambia County School District reported unauthorized access into hundreds of student accounts, according to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. At around the same time, the district student council coordinator was notified that Grover had allegedly bragged about using her mom's account to cast votes because people are stupid and they cannot keep their mouths shut. Whenever you get a benefit out of doing something bad, shh. At around the same time, the investigators discovered that in October, hundreds of votes for the school's homecoming court were flagged as fraudulent according to a news release. There were 117 votes for Grover to win, sent from the same IP, reported within a short period of time, the investigation found. That's when investigators found evidence of unauthorized access to the system linked to Carroll's cell phone and computers at her home. There were 246 votes cast for homecoming court from those devices, all for Carroll's daughter. Multiple Tate students told investigators that Grover described using her mother's system access or of watching her mother access records for years. Yada, 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 brag, brag, brag. Investigators learned that since August 2019, Carroll's accounts accessed 372 high school records, and 339 of those were Tate students. Carroll had district-level access of the school board's programs, authorities said, and was up to date on her annual training on staff responsible use of guidelines for technology. So that's a little something they're going to try to use in their prosecution. Hey, she's been trained to know better. Common sense obviously tells you that you should know better. It says here that information contained within the system is about grades, medical history, test scores, attendance, disciplinary records, personnel information, emergency contacts, etc. Officials have said that Carroll was suspended from her job, but it wasn't immediately clear if she had been fired. Grover, meanwhile, was expelled from the school in the wake of the homecoming queen scandal and had her title renounced. Let's see who the real homecoming queen is. Where are the photos? Do we have any of that stuff? Her mom tried to contest the expulsion, but it was upheld at an appeal. She's 17 then, so that would have most likely made her a senior. So you're talking about somebody in their last semester, most likely, of school, getting expelled. Wow. How do you finish school? I wonder if they allowed her to do some kind of online program to finish up that way, or to be home taught for that last semester. But again, that diploma wouldn't come from Tate High School. Interesting. Carroll remains free on $6,000 bond, and Grover is free on $2,000 bond. Let's see what the comments have to say. She hasn't been convicted. They haven't been convicted. They accessed confidential personal information. It's not just about the stupid vote. Well, thank goodness that this person here told us what the article already says. America is sick. 16 years for what? I saw the same bit on Victorious, a Nickelodeon TV show, at which point we can safely say that prosecutors have far too much power. Victorious, what are you? Affluenza isn't going to save you, hun. Bye. Is she assuming this individual's rich just because her mother's white? And the girl's white? I wonder if she'd say the same if it were other ethnicities. I mean, hey, I appreciate if you see me here, Emda princess from Denmark and Norway, which will be white herself. But if you see me and you think that I'm rich just because I'm white, I'll take that all day long, baby. Making this a criminal case is one of the things that is wrong with America. Just rerun the contest, make sure everyone knows, done. My guess is they probably already know who the actual winner was, maybe. But that's irrelevant. In the grand scheme of things, we're talking about a young person's life, their potential future. The mother should have known better, far more than the daughter. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to go easy on them. Just going through this article, trying to think of some kind of logical punishment. I don't know. What could it be? Should jail time be appropriate? They were accessing personal information. Now, don't get me wrong. Individuals willingly give up their personal information to big tech companies just so they can make stupid dance videos on particular platforms. Willingly handing over that information just to communicate with their friends and post a bunch of BS and try to get likes. This here is individuals who are unwilling. And we're talking about minors, of course. So what's the appropriate sentence to be handed down? I don't know that jail time is appropriate. I don't know if the homecoming crown, stupid, useless. Was there any nefarious activity aside from this? Were they trying to take anybody's information and sell it? I hear that that's not even frowned upon. People willingly allow that to happen. But what's the sentence? I don't know. I don't think prison is the right option here. A shitload of community service, a huge fine, some public shaming. We need one of those judges that'll make these two individuals, that come up with creative sentences. It'll make these individuals walk around town holding big old billboard signs that say, I'm a loser, an idiot, and I try to steal the homecoming crown, with a fake tiara on, maybe put a pig's head on her head instead. Something ridiculous like that. Parade her around campus once a week for the next 3 years, so that everybody in that school knows what kind of an idiot she was. Something that really embarrasses her, but not something that puts her behind bars. I don't know. Like I always say, I like to get creative with the punishments. I just don't see that jail is the best choice here in terms of punishment, even though there was an access of records, fraud, things like that. The mother, if she hasn't been fired, fire her. I'm good with that. Jail time, it's a little bit stiff. Here it is right here. Grover had allegedly bragged about using her mom's account to cast votes. People would get away with so much more if they just learned to shut their mouths, according to Me Gain Never Again, from New South China, Australia. New South China, I love it. So apparently you can make up locations only in America. Why is a pretend crown so revered? That people will go to almost any length to get their hands on it. Yeah, because you know what? This kind of stuff happens all the time. People are doing this by the thousands. Didn't you know that there in the United Kingdom? There's so much fraud in the homecoming industry. Oh man, we should do something. We should crack down on it. Make homecoming illegal. Like the video I talked about a few days ago. Punishments. What do you guys think? Is mine too harsh? Or should they be really looking at some jail time? Too lenient? Should they be really looking at jail time? Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Be well.